Do I need another laser? Absolutely not. But do I have another laser to unbox with you today? I absolutely do. And that's because WeCreat just came out with a brand new laser called the Lumos. And I'm sure you're like, has she already broken the machine? No, this laser is actually really freaking cool. The laser components, the actual everything that this laser is all within this small little thing right here. It's actually extremely powerful. The coolest part about this, and unfortunately I don't have it, is this is portable. Like I can laser anything with this thing. They have this really cool attachment. It's called a cone. You put it on here and you can laser all things like this, like upright, underneath. You could do this. It's all, the laser's all right here. Now, obviously we do have this thing. So what you could do, which is what we're gonna do today, because I don't have that cone attachment, is you would just click it back into this and then it's your standard laser. This laser is a diode laser and also an infrared laser. If you've watched any of my other unboxing videos, you do know that I have an infrared laser, and that infrared laser was capable of engraving my white gold jewelry blanks. This laser can do the same exact things as what my other infrared laser did. But the coolest, outside of it being like a super portable laser, the coolest thing about this is that it has a camera, and the camera is actually very accurate. Now, the other cool features about the WeCreat Lumos is that it has the ability to engrave on tumblers with a rotary attachment tool. I don't unfortunately have that one as well, but then it also, while the bed size is this size, which isn't that large, you can get this slide attachment tool, and what you can do is cut and engrave items that are much larger by using the slide attachment tool. So I think that's really cool. But to be honest with you, the two really cool features that I absolutely love about this machine is going to be how accurate the camera is, and then also, I mean, I know this may be silly, but like I've never had a laser that is this portable before, and it's like not heavy at all. I really, really want that cone thing because I'm gonna start engraving some random things. Anyway, what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna show you a couple of the first projects that I think that you should do just to get familiar with the software and also your laser engraver. And we're gonna do a couple really fun little projects together, and I'll walk you through the software and show you the camera and how cool and accurate the camera is. And we're gonna do some really fine detail metal work, wood. Yeah, this thing is so cute. Also, if you're a girly, purple. I mean, every other laser that I have in here is black. So I do love the color. That color is absolutely gorgeous. So anyways, let's head over to the WeCreat software first. So I show you just like a little walkthrough of what the software looks like. The software is really easy to use, y'all. Like if you've never used any type of laser software, this laser software is actually extremely easy to use. So let's head over there and then we'll start doing our first projects. Okay, so when you first download the WeCreat software, it's actually called WeCreat Make It is the software. This is, I would like to note that this is available within the iOS and also Windows computers, which is great because some lasers that I have here in the craft room is only Windows compatible. So this one is compatible with both, okay? I personally find that this software is actually really easy to use. You can come over here into My Stuff, and if you have your own projects, you can, you know, find them here. I haven't saved anything. You can obviously press new project here or come up here into this like plus button to create a new project. Okay, so before I turn this on, let's just walk through a couple things within the software. So over here, you can insert an image, and this is just going to be some of their starter images that they have. Now, I would say that their starter image software isn't the greatest. Like, it's not the best starter images. It's free, so that's cool. But like, I feel like we could probably one up that a little bit. But I mean, you do get a really good selection of starter images. So beggars can't be choosers, you know. We do have like borders right here. We just saw some animals. There's some holiday images. You're going to notice that there is a lot of all of these images are black and white. And like if you have a craft cutting machine, like one of these right here, most of those files that you see over there have like a lot of layers and colors. if you're brand new to laser crafting, there isn't a whole, like you can build layers and layer layers and like glue the layers together and all this stuff. Like you can do that, but most of the time when we're laser crafting, we're just like laser crafting one singular item instead of like building layers with with your craft cutting machine. So anyways, I have a bunch of different options right here. So then you can come over here into shapes and you see how there's like all these different shapes. You can click on it, click the rectangle, and then just like make a rectangle. We can come back here, do a heart, and then we can, oops, what are we doing? Come on. And then we can do a heart. So you can do that. And then also if you press like shift on the keyboard, it kind of locks into place, or you can not have it and you can make like a funky little heart if you wanted to. So the next thing we have over here on the left is obviously going to be text. You just click like on your screen. The working screen that I have right now is this right here. That's because I am set to a device that's not the Lumos. So if we come over here and click the Lumos, once it connects, it will change like this screen, because the screen that we're seeing right now is going to be for the original laser cutter. The screen that's going to be like your work area. Let's revert. The grid lines that you see here is going to be the work area for your laser. Right now, because this is not plugged in, it kind of defaults over to their original laser that has a larger laser bed. Once we turn this on, like hook it up and turn it on, it's going to default to the smaller laser bed like this. So anyways, with the text box, we just like added in the text box. If you wanted to edit this, you would just double click and then you would just type in your text, okay? Everything right now is going to look like a bubble letter. Like this is looking like a bubble letter. This right here just is like a single line. That's because right now we have line engraved. And so that would, if we were to do anything with it, it would just do a single line, okay? If you wanted to make them filled in, like let's say you don't want this to look like a bubble letter, you just come over here and do fill engrave, okay? And then if you wanted to cut it, like let's say you didn't want to engrave my name on a piece of wood or metal, you can come over here and press cut. Now, the cuts will always look like this, which is the same as like the line engrave, but you're going to do different settings and whatever. We'll get there. Okay, let's go back over here. I'm like swirling here, there, and everywhere. You can change the font up here. They have their own fonts. They come with 459 fonts. I'm just going to take a pause here because, you know, when like, is it, like when you choose a font, the font that you like that auto populates is the quick brown dog jumped over the fence or something like that. WeCreat must be thinking about margaritas on Fridays, because their populated thing is pack my box with 5 dozen liquor jugs. All right. Maybe this is like another like check on the benefit side, like bing, this is why we should get the WeCreat, because they like margaritas just like me on Fridays. It kind of cracks me up. You can do your own system fonts. These are all the fonts that I've downloaded onto my computer. And then if you have bookmark fonts or recently used, they're all right here, okay? Then they have a little bit of AI where you could do AI create. I can't for the life of me figure out AI to create images. I mean, I use ChatGPT to like think about captions for things or like help me with my SEOs, but like to create an image, I don't know if I'm lacking the ability to be creative to tell AI what I want, but like I never can figure out AI, but if you can, I'm happy for you. So they have in the toolbox, they have jigsaw puzzle, which I think is really cool. You can create your own jigsaw puzzle with like different tab sizes, and then see how it like kind of changes things to make that like a harder puzzle. You can make larger, like 100 rows. We could do, I guess it's 30 by 30 is your largest thing that you can do. You can make them larger, smaller, like the whole dimensions of it. You can do random style, which I think is really cool. When you press confirm, look. Let's zoom out, put this over here so you can see, like in seconds, I just created a jigsaw puzzle. So I think what's really cool here is like, let's say you engraved a piece of wood, or you have like I have this UV printer right here and I printed like a picture on wood, and I wanted to create like a gift for Christmas, like a jigsaw puzzle gift. Can print it on a piece of wood and then take it over here and then cut it out. And I have like an instant customized gift. in minutes. That's cool. So then going back over here into the toolbox, this right here, this material test array button is like the best button ever, okay? If you are new to laser engraving or cutting, the one thing that I am always so weary about when like sharing my settings about anything, it's not that I want to gatekeep them, it's because not everyone's laser is going to work the same. Also, if there's any type of small variations in the material that you're using, like let's say I'm using 3mm wood and your wood is like 3.2 millimeters, you're gonna have to change your settings to fit your material. That like 0.2 millimeters does make a difference when we're talking about laser cutting and engraving. So when it comes to like my laser projects that I do here on the tube, I am so weary about giving out my settings because I don't want someone to like waste material. And the way that you can avoid wasting material is by doing a material test array on the material that you plan on cutting and engraving. So the coolest thing about this is like now they have this button. It's called material test array. Before, like when I first got my first laser, in order to figure out how to do a material test array, you had to set it up manually yourself and it was a pain in the butt. Now you just press a button. And so now you can do min and max. Oh, let me delete some of this stuff that's on the screen just so you can see right there. Okay. We're going to come over here back into the toolbox and do the test array. You're going to see it kind of pop up here. I wish I could. Oh, I can. Awesome. Okay. This right here is the test array. Okay. And it's going to give you all of these random settings. You can change the setting like max here, minimum here. You can do more rows if you wanted to. So we can increase the rows just like that. We can increase, we can increase the rows just like that. We can do different settings if you want to do like your min setting as 1 and then your minimum over here as like 1 as well. Like you could totally do that. We could do different column spacing, line density, whatever. Okay. Once you're done, then you would press confirm. Now this right here is going to be what you want to test. You can make this smaller, and that's what I always tell people. Like if you have a piece of the material that's like this big, I wouldn't say fill up this entire thing with a test array just to see what the settings are. I would do like the smallest little bit right here because then you don't waste so much material. But I can guarantee you that this small little area that's going to do that test array, it will give you the settings that you need. That you like, so just don't waste a whole lot of material, okay? But I love that we now have this ability to do test arrays like with just a click of a button, because like I said, it was pretty, it took us forever to do it when I first got my first laser 5 years ago. So if you have a laser file, you can import them into this software, the WeCreat Make It software, okay? And you would just press this import. Now, I know that we're in the day and age where we don't have a lot of time to design our files. I get it. I don't particularly love designing my files right now either. So places that I go to get laser files is actually over at Creative Fabrica. They have a wide range of laser cut files. Huge. So if you ever are struggling with any ideas like how to create a laser file, because it's a lot different. If you've ever created an SVG file for, let's say, like your craft cutting machine, it's a lot different. Creating those files is different than creating a laser cut file. And if you're not ready to dive into that area, just go over to Creative Fabrica because they have thousands, okay? So essentially that's it. Over here on the right, you are going to be able to like select your different material settings. They give you a really good starter idea of like what items that can be used with your laser, and also suggested settings for your laser, which I think is great. And then once we have, like, let's say that we were gonna be doing this right here is 3mm basswood. So let's say that we were gonna do this, we would just come over here to material preview. Now there ain't nothing on my screen, but when we do, I will show you what that looks like in the material preview. But essentially that is it. We can center that to our thing and look at that. We also have, you can also do array. So if you wanted to like fill up your screen with a whole bunch of squares or a whole bunch of like cutouts of your name or whatever, you totally could. It would just be the same thing repeated over and over. You also can make them circular, just like what we see right here. You could also offset if you wanted. Yeah, like I said, this software is super user-friendly. Super user-friendly. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to hook up the WeCreat Lumos to the computer. You can do this two ways. You can do it via like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or whatever. The other way is doing USB. Now, I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi because I'm kind of far away from my router. When I first initially turned this on, my router in this right here was not, it was having some difficulties, like it would fail. They also, WeCreat does say like if you want faster laser engraving or laser cutting, or if you want faster like sending of files, you should hook this up via USB. They include the USB cable, so that's great. So I'm going to set this up as if I am hooked up to my computer and not Wi-Fi, just because it's a little bit more stable for me that way. All right, so here is the machine plugged in. It has a really, really bright white light. You wanna make sure and pull this off because otherwise that ain't nothing gonna happen. This is a laser, so you do have to be either vented out of a window or be using an air filter. I'm going to be using an air filter for today's project just because my window is covered with my 24-inch printer. Over at the software, what you want to do is come over here and we want to make sure, and we are going to connect to the Lumos. So you can already see that it's plugged in and that when I switched it over, it automatically switched over. And then remember what I said about the whole work area and how it was really big and now it's small. That is because we are now connected to the WeCreat Lumos. So first things first, what we should try is just put in a piece of wood to engrave, okay? So do you see these two dots that are right here? I don't know if you're gonna be able to see them. I hope you are, but there's a red dot right here and a blue dot right here. What you want to do is put your piece of material down into the software. Now what you could do is come over here to the software and you can do an autofocus. What that's going to do is it's going to take a picture and you can see it's, you know, starting to move the head up and down. And now you see those two dots, the blue dot and the red dot, now they are overlapping with each other, which is going to give you the best engraving possible. So no matter what you put in here, let's say I want to do engrave on this. I actually don't think that you could engrave on this, but do you see how now those two dots are covering each other? They're not overlapping. You would want to do an autofocus again. Or if you didn't want to press the autofocus, over here, do you see this like little dial? Oops. Do you see this little dial right here? You can manually lower it and rise it up or raise it up to do the focusing that way. But I love the fact that we have an autofocus feature. So now that I've messed that around, I'm gonna have to do an autofocus again. Also, remember when I said that this machine has a camera? Do you see what's on my screen right here? They actually took a picture of what is in my software. So I'm going to push this up to the very top corner. If you move anything, what I want you to do is come over here and press refresh. Now, the red light, blue light, what those differences are. The blue light is going to be your diode laser. That's what you're going to use to cut your material. So like your wood, if you're cutting wood, some acrylics, diode lasers can cut black acrylic. So you could cut black acrylic in here. A lot of engravings, like if you're going to engrave on wood or some metals, you would use the blue light laser, the diode laser. Now with the red light, that's going to be where you would want to use the red light laser. That's the infrared. And that will be when you want to do gold. Like my gold necklace, you could change it over to the red light. If you had platinum, you could do that. Silver, you could do that. And the infrared laser is like super fast. So first what I want to do is just show you how to do a basic engrave. So we're going to do the blue light. The material that I have in here is going to be the 3mm basswood plywood. It already determined that my thickness is 2.9 inches or 2.9 millimeters. I'm going to come over here to shapes and I'm just going to insert a heart and I'm just going to make a little heart. Remember, we're just going to do something kind of small just so we don't have to waste on a whole bunch of material. And actually let's do two just so I can show you the difference. We're going to put this one right here and I'm going to copy and paste. So Command C, Command V, and I put this one right here. The first one, what we're going to do is we're going to leave it at the line engraved. Remember, I told you that was just going to be one single line. And it's going to end up looking just like this, okay? For this one right here, I'm going to change it over to fill engrave. Now at this point, you're going to see these settings that pop up here. You can click on this and you can pretty much determine like what settings you want to use. Do you see these X marks? That means that they are no good. Obviously we're missing some X marks here as well, but these are no good as well. So you just want to find one that you like the most. I think I'm going to go with this one right here. I like them dark, but not black. Okay. So just by double clicking on that, you can see that my settings have changed. So I'm going to click out of that. Now we already have a live preview of what's inside our bed, but if you wanted to, you can come over here to framing. That right there is what is clicked on my screen. So I have the right heart clicked and we have the right heart. Let's click the left heart. See how it moved? Now you can click both. And do you see how now both of them are selected? And now this is how much material I'm going to use. So if you wanted to, because obviously there's a huge gap, right? If you wanted to conserve on material, we can just drag this down right here. Exactly where this is, this rectangle, that's where it's going to be where the engraving is, okay? So we're going to pause the framing. Also, you will see that I still have this square in here, but it's not on my working area. Nothing's going to happen. If it's not on your working area, nothing will actually engrave or anything like that. So anything that's outside this square you can have on your screen. Anywhere, everywhere, don't matter. Also, we are using a laser flat. You can do laser flat. Remember, I did say that you could use the rotary. They have that slider, which is that long thing where you can do like really long objects, and then also that handheld where you can take off the top and use that cone and you can use it wherever, okay? We are using laser flat. Also, I would like to note that if you are cutting, use this. If you are, which I'm going to show you. If we're cutting, use this. If you're just engraving, it's fine. You can do it here. Also, if you're worried about things being fully positioned and correct, like nice and square, you could do this right here and put these in here. And you just screw them into place. And then you can properly align your items in this like little 90-degree angle situation. I didn't do that because, to be honest with you, it's just going to be for testing. And we already kind of lined it up with our framing button, okay? So now all we need to do is press start. It's going to take a total of 35 seconds for this to get done, so I'm just going to press start again. Now, this is something that's really important. The blue light laser or any type of laser, you don't want to actually be looking at it. So what I need you to do is shut the trap. Just like this. See how I have a little bit of like hangover here? You want to be really gentle not to like knock your material over because, or like knock your material because it's going to end up moving your material. So I'm just going to close it pretty much all the way. Now, before I actually do anything more, what I'm going to do is turn on my air filter. It's going to get kind of loud in here. And then all you want to do is press this button at the top. And now it's going to get going. All right, I'm gonna turn my air filter off just because it's extremely loud. Then I'm also gonna press complete on the screen. You can hear that the machine is still running, and that's because it's still taking away the fumes of our engraving. I think it'll stop eventually. That noise will stop eventually, but okay, now, oh, there we go. There has to be like a time thing set to that. Okay, so this is what the finished results look like. So this right here was the line, and this right here was the engrave. And like that preview setting that we had, it's actually pretty accurate to what we have here. And then we have just a line. So this would be like a score line. This is an engraving, but they end up looking so cute, and it was really fast. Okay, so now let's cut this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to line it up just like that. I'm going to put this also right here. Now, because we've changed the height of things, you can see that my two pieces of, or my two dots are lining up perfectly. So then going back over into the software, all I'm going to do is press autofocus. I absolutely love the fact that this right here has a bright white light and then also has a camera. So now you can tell on my camera, do you see those two hearts right there? Those are the hearts that are right here. So it's actually, I love it. My other infrared laser does not have a camera, so you have to do all the framing, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to try and do the framing sometimes. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this one over here. You can see that my engraving one, I just put it off to the side, off of my working area. And instead of doing another line engrave, I am gonna cut this. I am going to cut it the settings that WeCreat suggests for me to cut. I'm not gonna mess with anything. This basswood, it did come with this laser, so I'm gonna trust the fact that they gave me some really good settings, okay? I'm gonna be using blue light for this, which is diode. We're gonna shut the hatch, make sure and shut the hatch, and then we're gonna press start. It's going to take 16 seconds to cut this heart, which is great. We're going to press start again. And then before I turn my machine on, I am just going to put my air filter on again, which is going to get kind of loud. But at the top, you're just going to press the button at the top, and there it goes, starts to cut. Hopefully this is a really good cut. I don't know if it is. We're going to open this up. Oh, okay, no, it was a good cut. Just see how it didn't fall right out? That's fine, because all you have to do is just tap it, and there it is. Okay, let me turn my air filter off. So there is the cut. Ends up looking so cute. And this is the 3 different things that it can do. Line engrave, an actual engrave, which you can see that there is some depth right there. And then also this right here, which is actually cut out. So now that we have that, let's work on the other side of this laser, which I personally think is the coolest. I personally love the fact that it's a diode laser or an infrared laser because it can do really cool things. I have this huge drawer that's filled with just a bunch of jewelry banks. My daughter was like into stamping jewelry for many years, and then she didn't use a lot of it. So I just have a whole lot of stuff left over from her. So let's do some metal, okay? First, I'm going to show you some color engraving, see what that looks like, but then also I just want to show you that it actually really truly engraves on metal. And this right here is stainless steel, non-coated. Now, if you have a CO2 laser, you will know that like to engrave on any type of metal with a CO2 laser, you have to have some sort of spray in order for it to mark. But this is an infrared laser, and the infrared laser, you don't have to do anything to it. You're just going to put this underneath your laser head, and you're going to be able to engrave on it. It's going to look so fabulous. So I have one of those. I am going to try my hand at engraving this small little thing. I don't know if it's going to work. Look how small that is. Like, not even, it's about like the size of my pinky nail. Do you think that it's actually going to engrave that? I don't know. But let's just try some color engraving. Let's see what color engraving will do, okay? So I'm just gonna pull out like a larger piece of metal just so we can see the difference. This is like a metal dog tag. This is like an aluminum dog tag. Has like a plastic sheeting on it. So I'm just gonna take that plastic sheeting. We're gonna do the aluminum dog tag first. So if you've never played with a laser, once you do the steps once, it's pretty much the same thing over and over and over again. So we have a new piece of material in here. So we wanna do an autofocus. You wanna make sure that your material is underneath those 2 dots. Once you have the dots, like, you know, focused onto your material, if you wanted to, you could move it up to like here, if you wanted to. I'm gonna put these little alignment plates. I love the fact that we got 2. My other infrared laser, they only gave me 1, and it drives me absolutely crazy. I'm like, hello, I need 2. Give me 2. So I'm gonna put this just like this, and I'm gonna hug them both sides. So now when I put my tag right in here, I know that like if I don't have it like butted up against these 2, it's not gonna be straight. So I'm gonna bring it all the way up to here, okay? And then what I'm gonna do, because I've moved things around, is I'm just gonna press refresh on my screen and see how we have a live preview. Whoop, just like that. How cool is that? Okay, then we're gonna come over here and press the red light because we're gonna use the infrared. We are gonna change over our material. This right here is aluminum, so I'm gonna change it to aluminum. And let's go into color engraving. After entering the focal distance, set processing parameters according to material test. Sure. Okay, I don't know what the focal distance is. The focal distance 0.08, I couldn't tell you. Let's just try 0.8. Okay, I'm not gonna change that focal distance because when I did it at 0.8, then we got some like weirdness going on. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. All right, let's do material preview. Oh, we need to add something in here. All right, let's go over here into images and we'll do this. It's loading into place. There's like all these different things right here. Oh, okay, okay. So we have this, we're gonna engrave it. There is like different settings that you can do. So I'm gonna choose this, and then I'm gonna choose a whole bunch of different settings, which I think is really cool that we can just choose a whole bunch of different settings just to see what they look like. I don't know if I have any duplicates. I did not pay attention to that, so I probably should have, but I definitely didn't. All right, now that I have that, I'm just gonna select everything and I'm going to right click and press group just so it's easily to manage. And I'm going to drag this down into my aluminum dog tag. And if you needed to, you could press framing and see how we have this blue light. That's where it's going to do my engrave. So we're gonna press pause. Let's just press start. I don't even know what the color engraving does. This is going to take a total of 1 minute and 27 seconds. So again, same thing. We turn on our air filter. All right, we are going to shut the trap and then we're going to press send on the software, pressing the button at the top. One thing I did notice is while this is processing, if you look over here at the WeCreat Make It icon, do you see how I have this like actual status bar and it fills up, which is, I think it's cool. I've never seen anything like this. So when this machine is done, this right here is going to be completely filled up. Okay, it says it's done and you can see my little icon is nice and filled, so I'm just going to press complete. Obviously turning off my air filter and opening up the hatch. I mean, they ain't much colors in there, but we got some really decent engravings. Look at that. Is it? Oh, come on. Come on, camera. I don't know if the camera focused in on that, but it's pretty cool. Let me see. Let me see if we can get a better focus on this, because like I want to just shout this out because this actually looks really good. Even the lightest setting, whatever that setting is still there. You can still see it, but it's very faint. This right here, this like one setting that's down here is a setting that I would use again for sure. But how cool that you can just engrave metal, right? All right, so doing the same things as before. This is this stainless steel, non-coated, very shiny. Let's put this right here. I'm gonna line up that center, just like that. The dots are right there. It may be hard to see, but there's some 2 dots right there. We're gonna do this and we're gonna exit out. I'm gonna get rid of that color engraving because I don't know what that did. We're gonna autofocus. All right, this time let's put in another image, just so we can test the capabilities of this. Ooh, California. I actually used to live in California, so let's just engrave California in there. So I'm gonna put California right here. So we changed the material. We are not using aluminum anymore. We are doing stainless steel. Let's select this. Fill engrave. We're gonna do a different setting. I'm gonna do 110. I really love like good crispy engraves, so we'll do 110. All right, if you wanted to do a framing, you could, just so you can see it's right there. The camera is extremely accurate. Okay, we're gonna press start. It's gonna take a total of 1 minute and 59 seconds to do this. I think that this is amazing, like so stinking fast. Okay, shutting the lid, putting on the air filter, pressing play. All right, pressing complete, turning off the air filter, opening up the hatch. It's not hot at all. I'm gonna rub off some of the soot because there was a little bit of soot, so it looked like it was blurry, but it's not. Can you see that? My goodness gracious. Look at that engraving on there. And like you can actually feel the engraving, like it's actually deep within that metal. 1.5 minutes for that. Holy cow. All right, now let's go even smaller. I need to know, do you think that it's going to engrave this small little thing? I do. I actually have really full confidence in this because of everything that it has been doing. It's really small. I'm sure this is going to be a breeze. I'm gonna put it down there We're gonna press autofocus. While that does its thing, I'm gonna insert a text, and let's do my last name. So just like the letter F, okay? We're gonna change over the font. I'm gonna change it to that. We're gonna put this right here. I'm gonna do a fill engrave. We're gonna change the metal over, I don't know what metal this is. Let's just keep it to stainless steel. I don't think they're stainless steel. It's like gold. I don't want to move it, but it's like gold, but not real gold. It can do real gold, but this isn't real gold. But let's just keep it at stainless steel. I don't know. I don't know. This is where a material test array would do really good for me right now, but I'm not going to. All right, I think that this is going to work. We shall see. Let's press start. It's going to take 25 seconds. We're going to press send. Make sure and turn on your air filter and then just press the go. All right, we're going to press complete and then open this up. Holy cow, that was actually really good. Let me wipe off the soot. Let's turn this camera around because I don't think you're going to really truly understand the smallness of this engraving. I mean, look at how small this is. There it goes. Do you see how small it is? Holy cow. And that engraving looks so good. That's wild. And like 25 seconds, if you are a jewelry shop owner and you don't offer personalizations because you just don't know how, this would be the perfect thing for you because you could do jewelry customizations on the fly and it would take you no time. But could you imagine how much money you would be able to charge for that? A lot of money. My goodness gracious, look at all this. How cool. So technically today we did a total of 6 projects. We did a line engrave, an actual engrave, and then we also cut on some wood, and then we tried our hand at 3 different metal pieces, and we had success every single time. And the accuracy on this small little heart and the quality of engraving here is absolutely mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. It's super fast. Now, the one thing that I am so curious about doing is taking this on a portable adventure and start engraving I don't know what with it, because I think that this right here, I've never seen a laser being able to do that. And I want to try it. I mean, the slide attachment tool, I've used those before. I'm sure that's going to be super easy, but this right here, this has never been done before. This is the feature that I think is going to be the thing that sells you. So I'm going to leave you today with the 6 projects that we created today because they were some really good ones. I mean, well, I didn't get a bad thing at all. So you're gonna have to check back with me when I finally get the cone because I'm still not sure what project I would do with the cone, but I'm bound and determined to do one because this right here is revolutionary.